Hey everybody, welcome back. We are here with another episode of Talkn Dance Moves. I have my special guest EJ Stacks.
What up? What up?
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. It's hot outside.
It is. It's hot as heck.
Raining and hot. That's
You're not right. You know how like when you sit over and you get that sweat line? That's what I'm trying not to get. Like I'm trying not to get that sweat line.
This morning I woke up, it was thundering and lightning.
Yeah. Like it'd be hurricanes in Kansas City. I don't know how that happened. Like we not near no water.
I know. I was like, oh my God, no way. So, just first off, I want to let everybody know they can call in on Facebook, KUAW. They can make comments, give comments, ask questions to our guests, to myself. And then also you can call in at 816-599-6893. So my first question for you, we're just going to get right into it.
Okay, bet. Let's do it.
How long have you been dancing?
Oh my God. I've been dancing professionally right now. Well, as present today, for about like 13 years. 13. But I've been dancing since like 6th grade. Like I always could dance, but I didn't think it would be something that, you know, I'd be doing professionally, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You know, I started out with a little Nina pop. You know, I used to do my little heel toe and pancake here and there. You know,
still do the heel toe.
Yeah, you know what? I do too. You know what? And anybody who ready to battle, let me know. St. Louis, because I know they the creators of like the Montessori and like the Nina pop and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's battle. Let's have fun. Let's battle.
Right. I've been wanting to go to St. Louis for a competition. That's gonna be hard.
Let me tell you, St. Louis don't play. Code Red. I don't know if you know who Red is. Red is freaking amazing, but you got like other dancers out there too. Ebony, like Slay Studios. Yeah. They don't play no games. Like I'm serious. LA better watch out. Right. St. Louis is definitely on the come up, and then KC right after.
Right. Yeah. LA's probably always going to be number one, but it's just the styles now. Everybody's mixing them all together.
Oh my goodness.
That it's just not. A one state thing. It's like everybody puts everybody's style on it.
That is true. Me personally, I feel like a lot of people are confused about style. You hear a lot of people talk about like the LA style versus the New York style. I think a lot of people are confused between like jazz funk, hip hop, and those fusing together. And then a lot of people call their classes like hip hop when it's actually jazz funk. I don't know. Like I just think a lot of people are confused.
Jazz funk nowadays is like, I love lyrical jazz.
I love all of those. Like I love contemporary, even though I can't stretch my leg no higher than about. It's probably like 3 feet off the ground, and I'm like, you know what? Nope, that's just not my cup of tea. But I love training in it because it pushes my body so hard.
You have to do a little bit of something different because your body does get used to you doing the norm.
Exactly, and so that's the reason for me stepping out. Like I tried, I even tried tap at Radix. I don't know if you know what Radix is, but it's a convention that comes. I think Brian Friedman and Trisha Miranda is a part of it. Mm-hmm. I forget the tap teacher's name, but he's freaking amazing. I'm like, how is he doing that with his feet? But I tried it all.
Have you seen Happy Feet?
You know what? I've seen parts of it, but I'm not a big animated like cartoon watcher. So
okay, for tap, I'm the Happy Feet. Okay, I can do every dance but tap. Like I am so bad at it. It's just harsh.
I can, you know, step a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna toot my horn too much. You know what I'm saying? Because the beat might be a little bit off, but I'm gonna get it. You know what I mean? So
eventually, right?
Yeah, eventually, I'm gonna get it.
So, what do you teach actually?
So right now, I teach jazz funk, hip hop, lyrical hip hop. Which I mean, again, like jazz funk is a part. Like what happens is they take technique and fuse it in with hip hop. You know what I mean? So that's why it's like jazz funk, because it's like, you know, it's time to get funky. You know, it's that soul that you add into like jazz technique. So I teach all three. Like here and there, you may see me do a piece that like, you know, people would say is feminine or has a feminine touch to it, and then you'll see me teach like hip hop where it's like straight raw, like how I started out in the basement dancing. You know, and then I'll just add like the commercial and the choreography into it. But yeah, so I teach, you know, jazz funk, hip hop, and lyrical. I love doing lyrical hip hop too, especially when it, you know, that emotion, tapping into that emotion is like everything for me. Especially, you know, just listening to them lyrics. Like I don't know, you know Alicia Keys, right? Yeah. Like what is that song? Fire We Make. It's just something about those lyrics. Like if you not moving to those lyrics, you.
When I had, I just want to chime in real quick. Hey girl, what's up? I need you to call in and ask some questions since we just had our class this Wednesday. I was teaching the class, and this young lady, she's more of the I'm gonna look at the YouTube and learn it, and I'm all for that, but I had to break it down into counts because I'm like more of a count person. But we were breaking down counts because if you know hip hop, it's 1, 2, 3. And you go by 8 counts. Then you got your 8 and your and ones.
Me personally, I mean, that's true. I personally don't think. I don't use counts, so I'm completely opposite.
It's opposite. See,
so
and
sometimes I will add a count in there, but most of the time it's more so like rhythm and vibe. So like I'll teach something and I'll just be like, we're gonna step 2, hit, you know what I mean?
See, and I see a lot of choreographers do that.
Yeah, because it's like I'm not gonna be like 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like it's just weird for me because I'm a raw teacher.
Yeah.
But I mean,
but everybody's technique is different.
It is different. And you know what? And I hate when you. Okay, so I love it, but I dislike when teachers like pressure people into their own journey. It's like that works for you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that may not work for me.
But that's why I always encourage my students to go and learn from different choreographers.
Yes.
And I like to teach with different choreographers.
Take away from each people. Right.
If you don't ever learn, how are you? If you're going to do it professionally, how are you gonna learn if you've never got taught by anybody else?
Exactly.
So you have to.
Yep, that's true. I agree with that. Definitely take as many classes as you can. Don't just take what you're comfortable with. Take things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And
if you're not challenged, you're not going to do it.
Exactly. And definitely if it comes to a point to where you are comfortable and that class is easy for you, it's time to move on.
That's
completely.
Anything you do.
Anything, right? Not just dance.
Anything. Yep.
Right.
So what have you done professionally?
Oh my goodness. You know what's crazy? I kind of dislike talking about myself, but I'm gonna go ahead and boast.
The same way. I'm the same way. I don't like to talk about who I work with.
Yeah, my accomplishments, because I feel like I still got so much more work to do. But I mean, to name a few, I guess, like I've worked with Genuine, which is a R&B legend who I grew up listening to. I've worked with like Strange Music, which by the way, they're like the #1 independent label in the world. And a lot of people don't understand that home base is literally right here in Kansas City.
See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they are literally they are the #1 independent label in the world. And I'm fortunate enough to be the first choreographer and dancer on that label to work with pretty much all of the artists except maybe a few. Yeah, because they're more hardcore hip hop. But I mean, I've opened up for like Rashida, Kinfo, Kia Shine, Case, a Genuine again, August Alsina. Oh my God, the list goes on, and I work with so many different people.
And it's funny how when you do work with a lot of people and the way their work ethic is, you learn from that.
Yes,
and
you do.
Me, I'm older, so like it's been there, done that.
Right.
So now my focus is wanting to do my studio and wanting to educate the next generation of dancers.
Exactly.
I don't want to be in that limelight anymore. Do you still want to dance professionally?
You know what? I think we had a conversation about this a little bit on the phone. I'm okay with still getting up on stage and hitting my little 1-2. And you know what? But I'm completely okay with educating the newer generation of people coming in. And also just choreographing in the back scene and just watching from backstage, like watching the younger people do their thing. Like I'm completely okay with that. But I still will get up on stage and, like I said, hit my 1-2.
Right. Okay. I have this question, but I don't want you to take it the wrong way.
Okay, no.
Because
do your thing.
I have plenty of friends who are still dancing, who still teach, who what is your perspective coming from a heavier person? Because I have a friend, I will have a group of friends that's are called heavy impact. I don't know. You've heard of them.
I've heard of them.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, very good friends of mine. And they've even done stuff for my studio, you know, and went out and taught classes, you know, for the kids. And, you know, and we used to always laugh because we're like, yeah, we get it from all sides. You
Right.
know? First our ethnic background, but then also because we are heavier.
Yeah. What's my perspective on it? I think personally, a lot of people are discouraged by the way they look, and or they get into this industry and think that, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a victim of that too. When I first came into this, I'm like, you know, ain't nobody gonna like me, nobody's gonna book me, like, but you want to know what's funny is I danced and I kept dancing because I loved it. That's the difference.
Yes.
A lot of people do this because they want to be famous, and or they want, or they're doing it for the money.
The wrong reasons.
The wrong reasons. I do it because I loved it, and I think that with me being heavier, or if y'all out there and y'all heavier dancers, or you may not feel completely confident about yourself, that's something that you need to work on. And like literally, do not ever let nobody tell you can't, because never in a million years, you know, me being 200 and something pounds.
You're not that heavy, but
200 and something pounds, but still out there keeping up with, you know, the thinner people, you know. I never thought I would be on stage with like Genuine, and also there was another opportunity that approached with like Janet Jackson when she was doing her tour, when she was inviting dancers to come in to do Rhythm Nation. Yeah. Like never in a million years did I think I would get an email to invite to that particular
audition.
That rehearsal and audition, and it was personal invites. So to me, that was like, I'm like, you know what? I'm doing this for the passion, but I stripped away all the expectations. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but my perspective on it is do your thing.
Yeah. And that's what I always tell my students, because their parents will come in and their parents will be like, well, they're very shy. Like I had one young man, he was heavier, and I even showed him videos of heavy impact. And I said, if this is what you want to do, don't be shy, and don't let he's like, but my friends make fun of me because they said I'm too heavy. He was only 7 years old. And I said, no, boy, if you look at my YouTube video, his we did a praise dance with him. His praise dance has more views than any of my other ones. And he was making people cry. Like the whole audience was crying. And I said, this is what you should do, because this is what you want to do and you love to do.
And that's all that matters. And you know what, people, excuse me, I don't expect people to get confident overnight, you know what I mean? But the thing is you have to understand that passion equals perseverance. And when you passionate about something and you keep going after it, the confidence and everything else will come behind it. Because I was like, there's no way in the world I'm gonna be able to book a job. You know what I'm saying? And then I start booking plays, and I'm like, okay, well maybe I am a little bit good. Yeah, like, maybe I'm okay. Like after all.
Yeah, and they would talk to the kids. They would come and talk to the kids about, you know, being a dancer, being a heavyset dancer, being an actor, because of some of them now are in movies. Yeah. You know, and they just tell the kids, like, don't let anybody ever tell you if this is what you really want to do, and this is what, even your parents, because sometimes the parents will be like, well, no, you know, or they'll put them in. Well, she's too heavy. That's why I want to put her in. Don't put her in because of that. Put her in because she wants to be in it. Exactly. And just like we talked about the other day, stop putting your kids in just because you want to feel your...
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Listen, parents, I don't know if you're listening.
Probably.
Talk to your kids, because honestly, a lot of that stuff that they're feeling and going through, it starts with home. And if you're forcing your kid into something and that they don't want to do, that's like miserable. That's like me or somebody forcing you into a job that you don't want to do, but you wake up every morning and go to it and you're miserable. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to your child. And because honestly, as dance teachers, we're not babysitters, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, we don't babysit, but we do have fun, you know what I mean? And we enjoy the energy of people enjoying the same passion and sharing the same passion that we have.
Yeah, so I mean, my kids have parents come and tell me, like, you know, she was sad and she was always in her room, and now that she's taking your class and she's on your dance team, like, I've never seen her smile.
That's the best feeling, ain't it?
Yeah, and then I had two of my my newer members here last week. And she was like, I'm shy to perform in front of people. Like, so she's still in that little phase where she is very shy, but she's slowly getting out of it. Right. Like, slowly, where she, and she learns like
fast.
Like I'm like, okay, now what am I gonna do? I thought you guys were gonna still be on this piece, but no, it's like she's really good, and I told her, Mom, keep her in it, like because this is what she really wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, like I said, like when it comes to being shy and things like that, you have to, again, come out of your comfort zone. Like if you don't feel uncomfortable, then you're not being challenged. So like if you're shy and and you're in a class to where it's accepted for you to be shy, or you're in a position where you can feel like being shy, like you need to come out of it. Like I tell my kids, I'm like, go out in the hallway and yell for 10 seconds. Just go out there and scream your lungs out. And sometimes I make them all do it together, and sometimes I'll make them like, hey, go up to a person that you don't know, stand next to them, go shake their hand, talk to them, get to know, because being present is powerful when you're present, and not just in class but in life. Because let's say, for example, a promotion came about. If the managers don't know you and you're just always, I'm gonna just go to work and go home, like nobody knows you, like you're not making yourself presentable,
right?
Or you're not presenting yourself as, I'm here, I can do this, I got this,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So, well,
just like when we have our competition, not competition, but our tryouts for captains, co-captains, not only do they have to try out, but they have to write a small essay on why they think they should be that leader for the team.
Right.
It's not just about dance, it's what they feel like, why they're wanting to try out and be that particular leader.
Exactly.
And is it because you want to, or is it because your parents are wanting you to?
Exactly.
So I have to kind of pick in between that.
Exactly.
So anybody have any questions? Do you have any questions on yours?
Let me look. I think I'm still no, people are just funny. They're just commenting, like always kicking facts. Preach. Oh my God, I hate when parents do that. So and these are dance teachers too that's on my live. And shout out to De'Ara Jackson, shout out to Manuel Lucky Harvey, who else tuned in? Brock, who's an amazing like heels dancer, and he's out in New York at Broadway Dance Center killing it. Tara's at Dance Fit Flow. You know something? I have a new fetish right now, and that is watching. I've watched his YouTubes. Which one? Brock? Yes. Oh, yes. And I mean, just the passion you see. And you don't care. No, and what that's the nobody thinks. And you know what? And it makes me want to go out there and dance in heels. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't get that feeling after watching somebody who just, goes after what it is that they love to do, and they show just who they are. By what they're doing. Yes, by what they're doing. You ain't doing right. Yeah, because y'all ain't out here doing right. Because when you watch a dance and you're not moved by it, like for me, when I do my competition stuff, if I don't feel like moved at that routine, I'm not putting that routine back on stage. Exactly. That's how you can. That's how you can tell steps from passion, or people who are just getting paid to teach, and people who actually love it. I'm sorry, but us dance teachers, we don't get paid a lot. We don't. We don't get paid a lot. We really don't. I mean, but. I'm not doing it for the pay. Exactly. I do it because this is what I love to do, and I love to teach, and I've been teaching for a very long time. Exactly. And to see my students now older and grown, I'm like, that's the reward. That's the reward. I see some of them, and they're having babies now, and they're teaching themselves, and And I just made a comment like that on my Instagram. I said, it's funny. I used to think back in the day to myself, like, wow, I'm upset. Like, nobody ever said thank you, for me, like, having those classes where I brought literally most of these dancers. They have, like, dance crews together now, and just from my class base alone, most of these dancers wasn't even aware of each other. Like, I was shocked because I was like, oh, where did all of these dancers come from? Yeah. And that's what happens when you are consistent, you have a vision, and you're not in it for the money, because my classes were free for like 4 years. I never got a penny off of those classes. Yep. And never wanted it. You know what I mean? It was because I wanted to bring those dancers together. And then I was like, I had to slap myself. I'm like, what? Like, why am I sitting here tripping, off of something like that when my job is done? Like, they got dance crews, they best friends. Right. Some of these people are working together now with other artists. So I'm like, that's the goal. Like, that was the goal. Yeah. And that's what you set your goal to be. Yeah. I mean, my dance studio, we
hopefully soon we'll be having a contract with kids who are in group home and foster homes to give them the opportunity to come out and dance, just because they don't have the money. The foster homes don't have that extra money to give them to do extracurricular activities. And a lot of those kids love to dance.
Yeah, they do. So to me, I feel like music is, I read a quote. It said that without music or dance, like, people will perish. And I truly believe that if you think about it, take away music from out of life in general, like, you hear like silence, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing that would make me want to. I have to have music to celebrate something. You know what I mean?
I have this past week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I think it's been 3 weeks, but I think it's a little bit, less than that. But if it wasn't for my students and my business, I don't think that I would have survived the pain that I've been going through. And just to see their face and to see that they want to be there is why I do what I do. Just for the hug, from a student and be like, sorry for your loss, or, And I had one of my students, actually, I made a little tribute video for my grandson, and she's the one who texted me the song, because she said, your grandbaby's dancing in heaven. And she gave me that song, and then so I used that song.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And it made everybody cry, because everybody kept, hitting me up. Hitting me up.
I know that was emotional for you.
It still is emotional. I do have to go out of town for that, but, like I said, if it wasn't for the dance, then it would have been a lot harder. It would have been a lot harder.
Y'all, dance saves lives. Like, and you know what's crazy? A dancer is so underrated. When you look at a dancer, you're like, how are they moving their body like that? Because a lot of people, and I'm a dancer, and I still look at people like, how are they moving that well? Like, it does something to me. So I'm just like,
the acro.
The athleticism of a dancer is, and we're so overlooked. But you know what? I was, Missy Elliott said something about that. She was like, I just feel like y'all don't get enough credit. You know what I'm saying?
Dancers really don't.
They don't.
Dancers
and to be honest, we make shows. We make some of those artist shows.
Trust me. I mean, some of these artists cannot dance
at all.
Like, at all. If you only
or perform, no shade, but they can't perform either.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, that was funny.
I'm just saying, you know,
it's very hard to go up on stage and have to learn choreography and then also work around the particular artist.
That's
when you know they can't dance, because you're like, excuse me, what are you doing?
And then you're trying to the rehearsal process of that is like such a drag. But you know what, when you finally see the finished product, kids, close your ears, but you be like, I need a drink.
Right.
I need a drink after this.
And you know why people want to go see. You know what I really dislike about being on tour?
What's that?
The press.
I love tour. Oh,
the press. After the fact, because we're on stage for so long, and then we got to go to a club afterwards, and we got a red carpet, and and
you be tired. Your feet be on fire.
Like, I have blisters that would bleed, like, literally.
I can only imagine, because you probably dance in heels.
Yes.
You're a woman. So, and then women, it take a little bit extra things, for them to prepare. I can only imagine.
I hated it. That was the only part I hated about it. I'd be like, for real, can I just go back to the hotel and go to sleep? In a bath,
and then I literally had to, especially when I was on tour with Strange, like, I literally had to wait until the entire concert was over, and then Talkn went last all the time. So, and we had like 2 songs with Tech that we performed, but I was mainly doing like Mackenzie Nicole and Chris Calico. But then I would still come out and perform with Tech. So I was throughout the entire show, and the show would be, I think, from like 7 to like 1 in the morning. So we literally, and then we had to stay and wait, because with Strange Music, I don't know if I can share this, but with Strange Music, let me find out a way to say it. There we go. With them, they're independent, so they would have to make sure they account for everything, and then we would leave. So we would have to stay a little bit longer than that.
Because you need to get paid.
So yeah. So, and I'm in the back dressing room like. I'm just over there like, oh my god,
I'm
when
over
we
it.
leaving, like, and then legs hurting, you're sweaty, you just can't wait to get in the shower.
Yes, and that's I think the feeling that is really like for a woman is that I don't like to feel sticky and I don't like to feel dirty. So
Exactly.
you're going to a club and you're spraying on more perfume so you
Yup.
don't smell the sweat, and
Yup.
it's like.
Yup.
And then, God forbid, if you're drinking alcohol, all that's going to come out of your pores, and you're like,
it is.
that's the only, like I said, the only thing I do not miss about
right.
performing on stage.
That is true. I can see that. I can see that. And then like the long waits when you like, oh, okay, we're about to go on for sound check, and then it's like another 30 minutes to an hour pass, and I was like, oh, they said that like an hour ago that we were supposed to go for sound check. And then sometimes you don't get a sound check, and then it's like, what is about to happen?
We did that one time at the Highland in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And there's 27 dancers. And we're like, how are we going to fit everybody on that stage?
Let me tell you, and you be looking at it like, Jesus, please come over us right now.
Because we're going to fall through this stage.
Right. Something's about to happen. We don't know what, but.
Oh, I hated that. Or the stages would be like shaky.
Yes. Oh, well, good. Thank God I ain't never really had to deal with that except for like the separate performances. But there was one that was wooden, and it was like an older stage, so you can feel it like going in a little bit. I was like, nope.
Right.
But the good thing is with Strange Music, they usually bring everything to set up on stage. So
yeah.
That
was and that's the good thing, like when you do have your hiccups, and but for the most part, it was really good and really a very nice experience for me.
I love touring though.
Yes. I want to do award shows eventually again. But like I said, but juggling the studio here, the one kind of being back in Cali, it's hard, but that's what I want to do.
Right,
and that's what I want to do is bring the dance community together, because I noticed out here, like we were on one of our other shows, we were talking about it, a lot of choreographers and dance teachers don't like to work together.
That is very true here. Here I don't understand it, and when you get that vibe, it makes you not even want to reach out to other people to try. But I am one person who have reached out to several people, especially when I was first starting to find out that I can do this professionally. And I think America's Best, oh Lord, I hope this don't tell my age, but this was when America's Best Dance Crew first aired. I was like, oh my God, we gotta try out. I'm gonna inbox these people that I know that are dancers that I looked up to. We gonna get these people on the stage and it's gonna happen. I'm like, I was so excited about it. And then none of them never responded back to me.
See, that's just some haters.
And I was like, yeah, right. And then it's funny because after I started booking gigs, then that's when they all started coming out of the woodworks like, hey, we want to work with, And I'm just like, it's a chop.
Yeah, it is.
It's a chop. But you know what?
Because
I paid it.
I've sent flyers to a lot of studios for free master classes and free that I'm going to be getting together here, and they wouldn't pass them out to their students.
Yeah, see, and that's another issue with Kansas City is if dance teachers out there in Kansas City, if you're listening, please stop making your students sign contracts. And please do not hold them hostage. Let them train with the people that they want to train with.
Well, not just that, people who can actually, benefit them.
Excel their career.
Yeah, especially if they want to do it professionally.
I heard that. Now, that's allegedly, that I've heard that rumor going around, that there are teachers out there making students sign contracts.
See, the only contract I have is that they cannot do extracurricular activities, because say John, for instance, is on my competition team and we're getting ready for a competition, okay, and he goes out and skateboards and breaks his wrist.
So that's a commitment contract. That's normal in the dance world.
Exactly, because when we were dancing professionally, we couldn't even ride a bike.
I had to do a commitment contract. That's different. But a contract saying that you cannot train with other teachers, that's a chop. Yeah, that's a chop. And allegedly, I've been hearing that rumor a lot lately, and I was like, wow.
That's not fair.
I wouldn't dare do that to none of my people. All my people know you can dance. Matter of fact, I may come take class with you, because I take a lot of people's classes here.
Yeah.
Even classes I shouldn't.
You know what? But I've been wanting to do that I've been wanting to do that so much, but with my business, with my full-time job,
it's a lot.
Being a single mom,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I don't have time sometimes to even,
it's a lot.
I wish I had time.
You a businesswoman. We get it. Look.
But I want to, though. I want to
Yeah.
be able to go and take a class that's going to relax me and my mind. I want to be able to pick somebody else's brain on other choreography. Because I shouldn't be the only choreographer. I want other ideas and, just different styles.
I definitely believe in recharging.
Yeah.
You better make time. No excuses.
Well, I am. When I go to Cali, I'm going to be taking some
right. I was gonna say,
master classes.
You'll be out there. You got Playground. Now they got a lot of new studios opening up out in LA. I've seen that.
And that's why it's going to be hard for me to put my business back out there because
it's a lot.
But the only thing is that I am known out there in California.
Because you from there, right?
Yeah, but the thing is that I've been doing it since 2002, and my studio is not.
You in the game.
Yeah, well,
you in the game.
Extreme Explosion opened in 2002 in California. Okay, it was an after-school program for kids. So, like you, I wasn't getting paid.
Right.
I was just getting the kids that were staying after school, getting in trouble, bring them in, teach them. They'd go to a few competitions, paid out of my own pocket. We went to Vegas. I took 15 girls to Vegas.
Right.
Out of my own pocket. Like it was crazy.
Like me.
Yeah. And
like
then it just grew from there. We ended up getting a contract with the government out there to teach group homes. So the group homes were bringing the kids. They would bus them over.
Got you.
And one of the students now, she dances for Janet.
See.
And so, like I told her the other day, I was like, because she reached out to me and was, like, sorry for your loss. She grew up with my kids.
Right.
She was actually one of the ones I used to yell at all the time because she was always carrying my son around. And I'm like, look, he ain't going to walk and then he's going to want me to carry him? No.
No, you ain't about to.
He's not a doll.
Right.
So now he's 16. They're 26.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's, you got to see that. And now you got new kids.
Yes.
So you get to see a new wave.
A new wave.
That is amazing.
Yes.
I tell people that all the time. I'm like, I'm kind of happy that I've gotten to see like two different generations. Oh God, I hope they don't tell my age. But I've gotten to see, two different generations, and so far, and they're completely different.
Yep.
This industry changed so fast.
The work ethic of people.
All of that changed.
Like we talked, we had a conversation about, I shout out to Susan if she's listening. I wish, she was still with me right now. I mean, she to me is a epitome of a workhorse. She's just like me. She's a go-getter. She works a lot. She works for what she wants, but she's also passionate in dance.
Yeah.
Now, when I was interviewing a whole bunch of other people, please don't hit me up and ask me for a job if you've never taught before or if you don't have no rhythm. Please don't do that.
So, and I said on my Instagram page, I said I wasn't gonna, say anything else about teachers out here that have taken 2 and 3 classes and think they can teach hip hop now, or just in general think they can teach. Because I would never go into ballet or a contemporary room and say that I'm going to start teaching contemporary. I would never do that. Nowadays, people feel like they can go on YouTube and they feel like, oh, I took 2 and 3 hip hop classes with Nicole Kirkland, or I took Wildebeest's class. Oh, I'm certified to teach because he called me out in a select group. It's a chop.
I love the choreography.
Yeah. But you know what? They are amazing teachers, and they make it look so easy. That make people feel like
they can actually do it.
It's a chop, because let me tell you, you have to. If you can get people in your class and people taking your class, great, but at least respect the culture, especially if it's a hip hop or in anything that you're teaching. If it's contemporary, ballet, hip hop, just respect the culture. Yeah, that's it.
And that's really the thing is, like, when you, like me, I would never teach Bollywood. Right. Like, Bollywood is not my thing. Like,
child, you couldn't get me to teach no.
I'm going to go back to school to do all my ballroom. I'm going to go to Arthur Murray's and go to school.
You know what? Arthur Murray's, I think, asked me to teach.
Yeah, they have a really good program.
And they said that they'll train you to
teach. Yes, they train you.
I was just like,
I want to open my genre and open my resume to like, okay, well, I can actually teach this. And I went to school for it. Yeah. Just like I went to school for ballet. I went to school, you know, to do all of my classes. I had to become a teacher.
Yeah, that is true.
So I can go into any high school. Well, nowadays, I mean, before, you would have to be certified to be able to teach at a school, a performing arts school. Now they just bring anybody off the street.
Anybody in. You could just, you better not be educated and walk into a school. You might just get the job.
And that's what's sad. And then they like really expect you to like, they'll see my resume and they'll be like, well, we only could give you $10 an hour. And I'd be like,
exactly.
I know I'm not doing it for the money, but that's insulting my intelligence.
That is. At least asked up front. So anybody, let's throw that out there on the table also. Anybody out there wanting to book a choreographer or a dancer, do not come to them with an actual price that you're going to pay them. Like, I'm going to pay you $300 to do a whole hour-long concert. No. You specifically ask them, what are your rates?
Right. See, I just recently booked a quinceañera, and I did give them a discount, just because
they asked you.
Well, no, it wasn't even that they asked me. It was the vibe I got from the lady. She was so sweet. She asked me my rates, but then she was real upfront and said, "This is the budget we're working with."
Exactly.
You know, and then the honesty and the you know the genuine, you know, was
respect
like
and love that you get, you know.
I mean,
I do that too,
because usually my quinces don't start lower than 1,200. You know what I mean? But
that's a lot of work.
I didn't mind, because like I said, she was honest, she was, you know, genuine, and she was like, this is, you know, and it was last minute. Like, I literally have a month to get them ready.
Exactly. And that's a lot.
Because we're doing a salsa, we're doing hip hop, and we're doing a waltz and a father-daughter dance. That's 4 different dances.
That is.
So, you know, I've done it before.
But the rehearsals are a little bit.
They're 2 hours long.
Yeah.
So, but you got, like I said, when we were talking, the boy and the girl thing, you know, they're teenagers. They don't really want to, you know.
They'll break out.
But it was funny because she told me, I said, well, you know, I like to prepare the parents and let them know, like, you know, sometimes, you know, teenagers will be teenagers, and they're going to be a little shy. And she's like, oh, no, her chambalan is, which is the guy that's with her, her partner. She's like, no, they're cousins. And I'm like, oh, see, that just makes it way better. Like, they ain't going to hate on each other.
They are. They're going to be like, what?
Yes. So, and it's funny because it's actually a biracial quinceañera. And
that's different.
The two, meshing the 2 cultures together is such a beautiful thing.
So what's the ethnicities? Is it
the mom is Mexican and the dad is African American.
Got you.
But I mean, he's open to learn the waltz and to learn, you know, these other dances, and you know, for his daughter, because that's how much he you know, he loves his daughter.
Right.
But it's cool because like I said, it's like a, you know, everybody, you know, later on down the line is going to be biracial.
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are biracial.
I feel like 90% of the population is that way now.
Right.
I mean, especially today.
Yeah.
Now back then maybe not, but
I mean just to mesh those 2 together is gonna be so cool.
That is. Yes. That is. That's why I said that is great. That's the stuff I love to hear.
Yes, like, and I mean usually quinces are, you know, Hispanic based, and so now even
I love Hispanic music. Let me tell y'all, especially like the little reggae like vibes that they
the reggaeton. Yes. Oh, did you hear Daddy Yankee's new video?
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
Daddy Yankee was retired.
No, he's not. But he went and messed it up and made a remix with Katy Perry.
Oh.
They messed up that song, and I love Daddy Yankee. But
those artists,
I do, but that song wasn't for her.
Yeah, it was just and I wish they would know that, like, who to put as let me tell you, if I was a casting
now, if they would have did a Nicki or a Cardi B on it,
somebody who had that island vibe, who's from an island, you know what I'm saying? Then,
but just for that, I was like, no.
That's kind of weird.
I actually was that was one of my first actual big artists.
Was it Daddy Yankee?
Daddy Yankee Rompe. Word. They made me look crazy. I had a mohawk with extensions, like it was.
Was you on Gasolina?
Yes.
Were you?
Who was it?
Gasolina.
Yes, and then when they did my hair, I was like, and my makeup. I mean, it did not look like me at all.
Right.
At all.
The and I had artist is beast now.
And I had my son already, so I was a mom, but I still didn't let that, you know, hinder me.
Exactly.
I got pregnant very young. I was 15, and my mom still kept me in dance. She would sit in the car with my son while we were practicing.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that support, I would have been,
Ain't no telling.
Yeah. So
That
I
is
mean,
a blessing.
yes.
Yeah.
And I got an invite from my shout out to Shock Treatment. I got an invite. She has had her studio for 40 years.
That's a long time to be in business.
40 years. I want to be like her.
Same. Me too.
I mean, her studio's full.
Let me turn into her.
Right? 40 years. And she started out we practiced in her driveway.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Right? Like, we started in the driveway.
That's what I'm talking about. You grit it out until you can get into an actual studio. The basement, the garage, whatever it takes.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, my gosh. So where do you see yourself in another 10 years?
Oh, my goodness. Maybe.
Was that the hard question?
That really is. But no, it's a good question.
Because a lot of people really don't know what they're going to do tomorrow.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't know, like, I'm a fashion designer also. So, like, I make clothes. Yeah, I make clothes.
I need to hook you up. I need some designs for costuming.
I got you. Edmund Elector is my clothing brand name.
Have you seen some of these costumes on these little girls?
Yes.
Like, I don't believe in showing too much.
Yes. Especially in the majorette. So I'm in I been crossing into like majorette and competitions like that. So yeah, some of the younger majorette is predominantly women or girls, young ladies. Some of the costumes I'm just like, wow, like your parents let you wear that. But I get it because you know what? Excuse me, we had this conversation about a parent got upset because they thought something that I did was sexual or a sexual move. Yes. The thing is if you've ever taken like a West African dance style, it's a lot of hip. It's a lot of, it comes from the glutes. Like, like it's a lot of that. And it was more of a spiritual thing rather than sexual or lustful, I should say. So my mentality is when I make up choreography, I don't think like, oh, that's going to look good because that's going to make my butt look big or what, you know what I mean? Like, I don't do it for that. Like, it just looks and it feels right. Yeah. But it's not something, because it's more, at that point, it's more so spiritual. It's not lustfully. Like, I'm not teaching it lustfully.
But for me, it's the music, like you said, the West African. It's mostly drums and stuff like that. But when you go into songs that are saying, I want to lay down with you and da da da,
gets
like
tricky. Yes, and then because now that's your intention. Yeah, your intention and the commitment that you gave behind that intention. Yes, was to seek for a lustful response. Exactly, from whoever the viewer is.
Yes, and then for me, being a choreographer and teaching kids, I have to watch my music and watch the content that I do teach because of the fact I don't want that music to be too graphic for kids. But unfortunately, we live in a world now that it all is.
That is true.
Graphic. So it's kind of like I'm picking and choosing and editing.
Yeah, I'm a little guilty too. What I will say, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, what I will say is that I grew up listening to like the Tupac. The Big,
I have a
dancing to like Maze featuring Frankie. I used to love Car Wash. The song Car Wash, working at the car.
Yeah, that's a good song.
But I never let that mentally like influence me to do what they were talking about. Exactly. I took it as this is what these people are going through, and they expressed it. So I'm gonna express the way I feel to their music. Yeah. And to this day, you may hear songs that may not be 100% appropriate, but it's not the intention. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
The choreography is not gonna match that.
Yeah, of course. Like I'm not gonna be like. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I see, like I said, with the costuming and stuff like that. I had an incident, I think we talked about it a little bit, where somebody misconstrued a topic we were talking about, and so now it's kind of like you see all of this stuff that goes on, and you see like the costuming, and and it is for show. It is them for being on stage. You want them to look good on stage, but at the same time, we live in a world where there is a lot of dangers out there.
It is.
You know,
it is. Like, it's sad, but
yeah.
it is. And you know what? Me and my best friend Prince, and shout out to Dominique, to Latrice that's on here. Shout out to Dash. We all have this conversation. Shout out to Randall, who's on my live too. All of these different people, we all usually go like right after my class to like Applebee's, and we'll sit and have a whole table talk. One of the topics that we always are talking about is the how we're desensitized to a lot because of social media.
Yeah.
And see, when I was growing up, I didn't have YouTube to go and post my video, or Facebook, Instagram. It was all word of mouth. Now with social media, news is getting to these younger people, and everybody's so quick that it's desensitizing everybody. Like, people be like, oh, it's a gay agenda. Oh, it's a such and such agenda, or this is what they want from us. It's the technology. It's social media. It's the fact that we can now click one button and we can get everything that's happening in the world.
I do not like to limit myself to like, I tell like a lot of parents, because they'll say, no, we're not signing our they'll sign up their daughters, but they won't sign up their sons, and their sons will be outside in the lobby dancing.
Exactly.
You know, and I'll be like, no, you need to sign him up if that's what he wants to do. And they're like, oh no, but then he'll be, you know,
or people think he's gay, or whatever the case is.
And I'm like, and so what? Like, let him have fun.
I wish people would stop. Like, okay, so one thing that I do understand and I agree with is the fact that, and you know what's, and I'm gonna talk about this for a little bit because I don't want to offend nobody, and this is not the intention. but what I do want to say is, do not force anything in that matter on someone you love. So if let me be clear, if you're a gay person, you cannot expect everybody to accept it. Yeah. Does that make sense? Because there's a lot of predators out there. Yeah. And if I see them in public touching on a child, that would make me uncomfortable. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and that's just like that predator saying, well, I'm a predator and I'm proud to be a predator. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
And they probably do.
And exactly. But I and as a gay person, if you look at that and you be like, oh, I don't get down with that, but how do you not get down with that, but you expect other people to, you know what I mean? Yeah. And let me tell y'all, I love love is love. Yes. Gay pride, you hear me? Yeah, right. Be gay, let it hang all out. See, I love it. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And nobody cares who you decide to be with, who you love. I don't. Yeah. Be who you are. Yeah. But if your child is going to be gay, let them just be gay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
well, it's not even about being gay. It's about being that they want to dance, and that's what they want to do.
But it's sad that people think that them dancing or them not playing sports, and America kills me with this too. Every American want their son to be in a sport. Yes. And I'm just like,
well, guess what they're calling dance is a sport now.
Yeah, it is. So, dancers are athletes.
Exactly. So I'm going to stick to that one.
You know, but I'm just saying, like, if you scared that your child is going to be gay, just let them be gay. You know what I mean? Or if you scared that people might talk about them, if that's something they love to do, then they need to step up and have that ground where, you know what I'm saying, like, I dance, so what? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, stop teaching your kids to be weak. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
and dance is hard.
Yeah,
dance is hard on your body. It's hard.
My knees was over here popping now.
And you're sitting down. Oh my God.
No, I'm dead.
Yeah. See, that's just wrong. When you know you're old. I had my son. He's autistic. Okay. I got up and my knee popped, right? And I said, oh. And he said, Mom, do I need to get you a wheelchair? And I was like, I started laughing. I was like, you know what? Shut up.
Absolutely. Look, I would have been like, absolutely.
Yeah. I said, come carry me. No. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. But I mean, he's very blunt. So
yeah, right.
He don't have no filter.
Right. Me.
Yeah. That's you.
That's me. I try to, now I'm working because I talk to a lot of different people, so I have to make sure I'm not offending people.
Yeah. Okay. So now give the public a little bit of more information on where you teach, where they can find you.
Yes.
And, just a little bit of that information.
Follow me, y'all, on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm EJ_Stacks, and that's STAXX. Facebook is EJ Stacks. Snapchat is EJ Stacks. Everything is EJ Stacks, I promise. And where I usually teach Monday. So since I've been so like busy lately, with like trying to get the online clothing store up and going, because I did have a clothing store location, and I just found that
is it for dancers?
No. Well, it predominantly yes, because most of the clothing is like stretchy. It's like sweatpant material, and I make everything from scratch. So I'm not a person who go and buy clothes and stamp logos on it. No shade to the people who do.
Right.
No shade. But I usually make everything from scratch. So and it's top quality.
That's what I'm doing with my tutus. I have it's going to be called Extreme Tutus.
Those are so fun to make when you like actually get to like doing it and you like see the
and they're going to be all individual pieces. They're going to be, they're not going to be, they're for shows for people who have their competition teams and want to use tutus in them. Parents who just want to dress up their kids in tutus because you see it all the time.
Excuse me, it's fun.
Yes. I mean, I'm not a designer. I never have been. But I mean, and I give you props on that because it is a very hard thing to do.
It's a tedious process too, and it take a lot of time. But but usually when I do, like I got a class this Monday at Dance Fit Flow. At 7:30. I believe they like do 17 and up though. But usually I'm at Axe. And shout out to Axe Capoeira. How do you say that? Capoeira?
Capoeira.
There we go. Capoeira. KC on 64th and Truce. I usually teach there on Mondays at 8:30.
And my studio's on 43rd and Truce, so that's close.
Bad. And you know what? And hopefully, me and Miss April might be linking. You know what I'm saying? Maybe teaching the class.
When we get our master classes together,
definitely,
I would love for you to do a master class. I'm trying to get Roro to come out. I'm trying to get Shane Sparks to come out.
Oh, look at the OGs. They better bring the OGs out.
I know. That's who I love.
Yeah. Luam right now that's an OG, and like the Danielle Polancos.
Well, maybe you'll hook me up with a couple of them because, like I said, I'm new here, so I don't know a whole lot of people.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean. And
I'm pretty sure you know KK.
I've never
KK here. Okay,
no,
but.
I've heard of them, but I've not met them.
Right.
Just like I've heard of you. I mean, I have a couple of people who recommended me to you. That's why I reached out because I was kind of like looking for choreographers here. And then when the show expands, we're going to be going live with other people in different states and other choreographers in different states, and doing it like that. But I mean, this show basically is for us to get our dancers out there and give information on people who want to take dance classes but don't know where to go.
Oh yeah, and let me tell y'all, it's a lot of great teachers out here in Kansas City. Do not get discouraged if you happen to take a class and it's not what you think it is. And I mean that in the most respectful way. Like you got like great classes for like women empowerment. That's Heels. Edith Cruz, that's my girl. She teaches on Wednesdays at Quixotic.
Okay.
You got Lucky, who always teaches a class everywhere. Like anywhere, all you have to do is just go to this page and you'll find it. Or you can just come to mine's. And usually I'm posting everybody else's classes too.
Yeah, see, and that's what I do too.
Yeah, like it's support. It's all support. Empire always has great classes. I mean, you just gotta, catch the right class or whatever works for you, because they have a wide variety of classes there. So there's good classes and great teachers. Like De'Ara Jackson is a great teacher. Lucky is a great teacher. Edith, of course myself. And then we had Dominique Latrice, who's, by the way, she left us. She went to Dallas, Texas. She was a great I think she's one of the first girls teaching heels here.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but I think that's correct.
Everybody thinks like they have this perception of heels class is going to be hard. It is the easiest
glad you
class.
Brought that. I'm so glad you brought that.
It is the easiest class.
Yes. Now we had a conversation. We did what I want to start seeing from, and what my expectation is. I'm only speaking for myself, and this is my personal opinion on heels classes. It doesn't necessarily have to be stripper vibes. You know what I mean? Like for some reason, what they think. That's what everybody think heels is, and I'm like, no. And you know what's crazy is a lot of women don't dance like women anymore. It's because like since unfortunately the industry is ran by a lot of males who happen to be gay or whatever the case may be. So what the gay males do is they imitate how they think the girl moves, you know, so it's extra.
Yeah.
You know, and like you seen like drag shows and stuff, so everybody is like
Love
over
them.
the top. Yeah.
Love them. Love them.
And it's fun to watch, you know. But that's why women, and Red actually made this, he made a great point. He was just like, women don't dance how they used to anymore.
No.
And I was like, that is true, because I remember women used to, they didn't have to be extra. Because you were a woman, you know, we knew it was a simplicity that made it.
The smallest move.
Like you said, you taught burlesque.
Yeah.
Like that to me, like that's, I mean, that's like what I would expect a woman to be, and it's not extra. It's just really like feminine. And it's sexy. You know, it's naturally sexy.
It's naturally sexy.
Not over the top where you have to force it.
Not twerking.
Exactly.
And I need to take a class on twerking, but
or just extra how they be like.
Yes, no,
You know,
I don't do
like,
all that.
It's not,
you know
what I'm saying? Like it's smooth, you know, it's like naturally, you know, where they don't have to do too much.
Yeah, and that's the thing about when you're teaching from your heart and what you want it to look like.
Of course.
You know, and for me, I don't like, we had this little conversation before we even started. I predominantly teach kids.
Right.
Adults, not so much.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to do... Adults just don't listen. I'm sorry, everybody. I don't want to offend nobody, but you know, you tell them no, you don't. It's not that way, and they'll be like, I know. Well, no, you don't, because you just did it the wrong way.
Right.
But you know, kids are gonna be like, you know, they're like sponges. They want to learn. They want to do things. So
yeah, they are. And you know what? And some adults, they just don't take advantage, or they already set in their mind like, oh, I got this. Like I know that.
Okay,
but
we got
everybody's still learning.
I know. We have run out of time.
Crap.
I know, right? We actually went over, but I would love to have you back, and then have somebody out, one of your friends come by.
Yes.
And, you know, I would love that.
I think I'm gonna bring Red. Okay. I love Red's conversations. And he's from St. Louis. Okay. So he can bring a different perspective. And he been like on BET Soul and Beyonce. He danced for Beyonce. Okay. So, and he's always in town, so I'll try to bring him in.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching, and I thank EJ for coming by. This conversation was really cool. This show was good.
I love it.
I know, right? We just talk about what we love.
Exactly.
All right, everybody. See you next week.
See y'all.
Ooh, my hair. Look at my hair.
I know. It's so hot. Like I'm trying to not to get these sweat marks.
I know. It's hot. I'm like, whew. Yeah, but I would love you to come back. That would be.